Nobody expected The Mandalorian and Grogu to carry this much pressure, because this movie isn't just another Star Wars adventure. It honestly feels like Disney testing whether people still emotionally care about Star Wars at all. And weirdly, the movie kinda works, while also feeling surprisingly safe at the exact same time. The biggest thing this movie gets right is simple. Mando and Grogu still have chemistry that most modern blockbuster characters completely lack. You genuinely enjoy watching them together. Even when the plot gets messy, even when the movie starts feeling like another giant side quest, that emotional connection still carries the entire experience. And honestly, that relationship is doing heavy lifting here, because the story itself feels smaller than I expected. There are massive action scenes, huge creatures, empire chaos, explosions everywhere, but emotionally, the movie rarely hits as hard as it wants to. And that's the weirdest part. This is probably the most cinematic live-action Star Wars has looked in years, but it also feels like a really expensive season finale, instead of a must-watch movie. The visuals absolutely go hard though. The dusty planets, the western atmosphere, the dark lighting, the armor reflections. Some scenes genuinely feel like classic Star Wars again. And honestly, that lonely space western vibe is still the best thing this franchise is going for it. But the writing feels weirdly careful, like Disney became so scared of upsetting fans that the movie avoids taking real emotional risks. Nothing feels truly dangerous, nothing feels shocking, and modern audiences notice that immediately, because today, people don't just want cool action anymore, they want emotional consequences. That's why the smaller moments between Mando and Grogu honestly work better than most of the giant battle scenes, because at this point, people aren't watching Star Wars for lore, they're watching because they're emotionally attached to these characters, and Disney clearly knows that. Grogu especially feels like the emotional engine of the entire franchise now, and thankfully, the movie uses him surprisingly well, not just for cute moments but for actual emotional warmth that recent Star Wars projects have seriously lacked. Now, does the movie have problems? Definitely. Some parts drag a little, a few action scenes feel repetitive, and the overall story never reaches the emotional intensity fans were probably hoping for. But honestly, I still think this movie is way more entertaining than most recent Star Wars projects, because at least it remembers something important. Star Wars is supposed to feel emotional, not just expensive. And that emotional core is what saves this movie from feeling completely forgettable. The Mandalorian and Grogu isn't the huge Star Wars revival people dreamed about, but it is a surprisingly enjoyable return to a galaxy that finally feels human again. And honestly, after the last few years of Star Wars, that might actually be enough.